From religious considerations to preserving social harmony, countries around the globe have implemented regulations on clothing that travelers should be aware of. These rules not only ensure respect for local customs, but also help visitors navigate foreign lands with ease. Before you pack your bags or buy new things to take to your travel destinations, take a look at some clothes you can't wear in countries around the world. Bikinis in Maldives. What do you think of when you hear the word Maldives? Blue sea, white sand beaches, and endless summer fun in a new bikini? It might be a little-known fact that Maldives is a Muslim-majority archipelago and traditional rules still apply. In line with Islamic principles and local customs, the Maldives has restrictions on wearing bikinis outside of designated areas, such as private resort islands. In more populated and inhabited local islands, it is important to dress modestly and respectfully, taking into consideration the conservative nature of the community. However, within private resort islands, tourists are typically allowed to wear bikinis and enjoy the beaches freely. These resorts provide a more liberal and relaxed environment that caters to international visitors' preferences. No camouflage clothes in Barbados, St. Vincent, and St. Lucia. It's no surprise that camouflage is an important piece of attire in many militaries around the globe. But some countries take it further by banning camouflage clothes on everyone except military personnel. From Barbados and St. Lucia to Saudi Arabia and the Philippines, 18 countries have officially banned the wearing of camouflage clothes. So, when you're packing for any of these countries, you should reconsider your packing options. No flip-flops in Italy. Italy. The land of the iconic pasta, gelato, and no flip-flops rule. In fact, if there's one way to recognize foreigners in this country, it's by checking out what footwear they're wearing. But why did Italy even ban the use of casual footwear like flip-flops? The country is known for its high beauty standards where every passerby will look polished, chic, and beautiful. That said, the country simply couldn't let foreigners ruin the fashionable aesthetic and imposed a ban on wearing flip-flops in public. After all, they believe that maintaining a stylish atmosphere adds to the overall charm of their streets. Saggy pants in Florida. No matter what news comes out of Florida, the news of having pants being banned can't be beaten. Down in the south, the Floridian city of Opelika has strictly banned anyone from wearing saggy pants. Now, what exactly does Florida mean by saggy pants? The rule originated after low-rise baggy pants started trending over 13 years ago. Yet the law still applies and nobody is allowed to wear saggy low-rise pants in Opelika today. No high heels in Greece. Greece, a land steeped in ancient history, boasts remarkable archaeological sites that have stood the test of time. But how do they keep these magnificent structures intact? By banning high heels in the entire country, of course. The no high heel rule was born from a genius idea to preserve Greece's historical locations from wear and tear. Over time, the pointed nature of high heels causes greater pressure that destroys historical landmarks throughout the country. But it doesn't stop there. Greece's rugged and mountainous terrain is no joke. So the rule doubles as a guardian angel, shielding people from potential accidents and slips in challenging landscapes. No Western clothes or pants in North Korea. Perhaps the most isolated and regulated country on the face of the earth, North Korea has stringent laws regarding clothing, particularly for women. While the country has its own calendar and math, it also has some questionable clothing laws. One notable rule is the ban on women wearing pants, which is strictly enforced. Instead, women are expected to wear skirts or dresses as part of their traditional attire. The dress code in North Korea is conservative and emphasizes modesty. Dresses should be knee-length or longer and shoulders should be covered. Tight or revealing clothing is strictly prohibited. Additionally, clothing with slogans, symbols, or images considered offensive to the regime is not allowed. It is also strictly prohibited to wear Western-style clothes anywhere. If you're found in possession of Western outfits, you can face years of imprisonment. These dress regulations reflect North Korea's ideology of promoting conformity, unity, and cultural preservation. Failure to comply with the dress code can lead to punishment, including fines or even detention. Makeup for men in Sudan. While the world progresses towards liberating individual identities, some countries choose to stay behind. For instance, Sudan believes in implementing strict gender expectations for all locals and tourists alike. In this extraordinary country, men are expected to steer clear of makeup, whether it's a touch of nail polish, a smudge of eyeliner, or even a hint of lipstick. Authorities are known to enforce this rule rigorously, and those caught wearing makeup may face fines or in rare cases even temporary imprisonment. So, if you're heading to Sudan, maybe simply leave the makeup bag behind, and upholding public decency. It is crucial for visitors and residents in the UAE to understand and respect these cultural norms. By dressing in accordance with the established guidelines, individuals can demonstrate their understanding and appreciation of the local customs. Not only will you face strict legal repercussions, but you'll also feel dejected by your local community. Abayas and niqab in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, a country steeped in tradition and religious conservatism, enforces strict dress codes for women, including tourists. These regulations aim to align with the country's Islamic values and promote modesty and respect within Saudi society. When it comes to visiting Saudi Arabia as a female tourist, it's important to follow a specific dress code. You'll usually see women wearing an abaya, which is a loose-fitting black cloak that covers their entire body from head to toe. While wearing an abaya is required in public, there is some flexibility in choosing the style and design that suits you. Along with the abaya, it's expected for women to cover their hair with a headscarf or hijab. Make sure the headscarf fully covers your hair, and in some more conservative areas, you might notice women covering their faces with a niqab if they choose to. Remember, the key is to wear loose-fitting clothes that don't reveal too much. Make sure your arms and legs are covered and avoid wearing tight or see-through clothing. It's also important not to have any slogans, logos, or offensive images on your clothing. No hijabs in France, Belgium, Bulgaria, Italy, and Switzerland. On the other end of the spectrum, we have Europe and its infamous countries. Many countries within the continent have officially banned the use or partial use of religious headgear in public. Italy, France, Belgium, Bulgaria, and Switzerland are 5 of the 8 countries that prohibit locals and tourists from wearing hijabs, abayas, or any other religious outfit. Wearing masks in New York. Considered a hub for tourists and a melting pot of cultures, New York doesn't shy away from introducing its own unique spin to dress-up rules. Whenever you think of New York, you imagine high skyscrapers, beautiful and glimmery nightlife for a city that never sleeps. And of course, you imagine the fashionable people on the streets. For New Yorkers, style isn't a choice. It's a must-have opportunity to showcase their personality to everyone around them. Yet, New York law states that face-covering headgear isn't allowed when you're hanging out in a group. From face-covering veils to simple masks, you can't cover your face in New York. This is mainly done to ensure that safety is a practice in the city and makes sense when you look at the high crime rate of the buzzing city.